Today's video is brought to you by Oxedo LED lighting. You might think that you can see just fine at night. Well, I did too, until I did this little upgrade. As you can see from this footage, here is some before Oxedo LED lighting, and here is some after Oxedo LED lighting. The difference is amazing. With high brightness and easy installation, Oxedo LED lighting is definitely the route for you. They're easy to install, and they're available for all makes and models. Click on the link in the description below and enter promo code 612motorsports at checkout to get yourself 15% off. Now back to our video. Welcome back to Minnesota driving. Welcome back to another episode of 612 Motorsports. In today's episode, we are back out in Litchfield working on the 40 Ford convertible that we have been working off and on with for about the last year or so. And whenever we get up here, we stop by and we help out a little bit the best we can. Today we're going to be tearing all of the chrome and trim off of this dash so that we can get it scuffed and painted. Decent little project, nothing too crazy or wild, but something we can definitely tackle here today. But before we get too far into today's episode, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscription button, the notification bell, leave a comment, a thumbs up. All that stuff is super helpful, and it's very greatly appreciated. Also, check out the links below in the description for the merch store and the Instagram account. So there's a bunch of these little clips that are on the back side. It's basically a nut on the back side of these little screws that are going to be placed along here, the dash, the ashtrays and things here in the corner, any of the little lighting, all of that stuff. There's just a few little things, trinkets on here, but we're going to get that all out of there so we can scuff this down. So as you can see, the dash is now stripped of any and all trim pieces, any hardware, any lights, anything that we need to get off is now off. We're going to go ahead, clean that up, clean up this chrome, these little pieces here that go across the top here and the bottom there, and then that center piece goes across right there. We're going to clean all that up, get that put on the shelf, get the dash here scuffed up and ready for paint. We got the new fenders unboxed and they look really sweet. They put a nice coating on there to protect. This guy was upside down in the box, so it had a little wear on it, but nothing that's going to be an issue by any means. These definitely look a lot better than what we had. Here's a little example of what was on there. Kind of the wrinkle fit finish. But what we wanted to do was have the nice new ones on the car, just so that we had a good fit and finish and everything lined up good and wasn't going to be leaving us with any weird gaps or anything anywhere as far as the lenses or where it attaches to the body. So alright, so we've got the dash for the 40 in the blast cabinet. We're gonna go ahead and give that a little blast, get that color off of there. It's a little thick and a little pitty in places, so we want to make sure we're getting it all off so we've got good coverage for later on. So let's tear that bad boy open and get her blasted.
A few moments later.
Well, we got that blasted. Looks real good. A couple little patches up here, but definitely not the end of the world. So since we got the blasting cabinet working, we're going to give these little ashtray brackets here a blast and freshen those up a touch. Nice and fresh, at least ready for a nice coat of paint. Since we're doing the dash, I figured we'd take the glove box door, take that apart, get that ready for blasting and painting. So let's tear into that right away. So I went ahead and I just pushed all the screws onto this piece of cardboard. That way I can sandblast all the heads real nice and I'm not losing any pieces. So we have to get these trim pieces off of the glove box door so that we can sandblast this and get it to paint ready like we have the dash there. What they have are these little pins, kind of a punch, and they mushroom out a little bit. So what we're going to do is just give them a little pop from the back side. I'm using a couple of boards, and we're just going right in between there. So you can see they lift it up nice. Now we just have to get the others inside of here. Well, that's going to wrap things up here at the body shop. We got quite a bit of things done, actually. Got the dash all tore apart. As you can see, we got that all sandblasted and ready to go. She's in its raw form right now, and that's okay. That's pretty much what we want. We just want her nice and cleaned up. We got all the little gadgets and brackets. We got all our chrome trim stainless stuff here we're going to polish up. And we did take one of the fenders and dry fit it there just to make sure everything lines up good and it looks super good. So we're not going to have any worries there. Get the back end of this thing looking right and tight again. So well, that's going to wrap up this visit. If you haven't done so already, go ahead, hit that subscription button, the notification bell, leave a comment, a thumbs up. All that stuff is super, super helpful, and it's very greatly appreciated. Also, click the links down below in the description for the merch store and Instagram. As always, stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. So one of the area here's major attractions is the world's largest twine ball, and I only thought it appropriate that you come along to see it because, well, there's only one, I guess. It says world's largest twine ball by one man, but here's the little signage. You can read that quickly. 1,740 pounds, 40 feet in diameter. And there it is. They keep it in this gazebo so it stays out of the elements. But it used to be at this dude's house outside, and I would think it got pretty nasty. But that's the twine ball.